Good morning, beloveds. Oh, it's been kind of a wild 24 hours. Normally Friday is my day of rest, and since it had been raining and I'd missed 3 other days of exercise because of the rain, we went ahead and went for a walk. And then this morning, it was really bloody cold, but had a good day in the park. But I was supposed to go last week to get my hair cut, and she had a really bad case of the flu or a really bad cold, and so she rescheduled us for last night. So we were like, okay. So Tom took me to work, picked me up from work. We drove over there, got our hair cut. We were going to go to this little Mexican restaurant that makes the best fish tacos ever. I think it's Romero's. It's over there on just off of 290 in Barker, Cypress, if you're in the area. And they had a wait, and I was like, it's 7:45. And we've got kind of a ways to drive home. And so I was like, okay, you know what? So we're like, nope, we'll just try somewhere else. And so we did. There's this little restaurant. It's called the Craft House Grill. And we've been driving past it forever, but it doesn't open, it's not open when we have a tendency to drive past it. So we're too early. And so finally last night we gave up and we tried it, because we drove right past it and it was 8 o'clock at night. It was loud. They make their own sodas and the root beer was good. And I tried the Pepe, which was bacon infused or jalapeno infused bacon, pepper jack cheese. It had roasted poblano peppers on the burger, and then I think they used a spicy mustard on it. It was amazing. It tasted wonderful. My stomach is not real happy with me today. So that made going to the park a bit of a challenge. And Foster is thoroughly loving having me in here. So he's literally holding my hand, holding my finger right now. He's holding my hand. So he's being a little love bug. Oh, cats, they're wonderful. But yeah. So I've had just an exciting 24 hours here. And the Blue Jays. So the Blue Jays talk to us, and they'll buzz us if we're not paying enough attention. The woodpecker apparently was talking to us today. The first time the woodpeckers, there were at least 2, maybe 3 woodpeckers. They got plenty of peanuts. The second time, the Blue Jays were chasing the woodpecker, and so that last time there were no Blue Jays around, and the woodpecker was like, "Pay attention to me. I would like a peanut. May I have a peanut, please?" It was cute. And Tom was the one that went, "Hey, the woodpecker's talking to us." So it was great. All right, it is February 4th. Our title is A Pattern for Your Life. The first quote is, "For your heavenly spirit knoweth that ye have need of all these things." And that is Matthew 6:32. The second quote is, Life is forever present in its fullness. And that is The Science of Mind, page 240. All right. Believing in freedom of choice. We might say that God has no plan for our life. However, there does exist a divine pattern for each of us. And within this pattern, for good, we have the freedom to unfold. Just as there is an invisible pattern for our body, so also for our life, there is an invisible divine pattern of perfection and fulfillment. Our awareness is such that such a pattern exists enables us to harmonize our desires with it. But we must know what our desires are. We need to know what we want in life, what we want to become, where we want to live, and in what manner and what we want to achieve. This knowledge of our desires is indispensable for giving direction to our life. For when we dwell consciously on what we want, we then attract that to ourselves. Some people recommend that we make a list of what we want. This is a good idea, but I would add that we need to prepare such a list every day. Rather than copying from our previous list, we need to rethink the list each new day according to the dictates of our real needs and desires. Such an approach helps us to eliminate those items which we may not truly want. This daily writing and thinking leaves a new impression upon our subconscious mind, and out of these impressions come the realization of our desires: spiritual growth, health, happiness, prosperity, protection, and fulfillment. My life is evolving like a tree from a seed. Patterns from the roots, trunk, and branches, patterns for the root, trunk, and branches, leaves, and perfect life functions are all invisibly contained within the some days words are hard. Amorphous substance of the seed. Likewise, the outer experiences I desire are invisibly contained within the perfect pattern of my life. And that is RH, which is Robert Haake. It's Haake. It's very Nordic. I those countries up there like Switzerland and things like that. So I'm not sure how to pronounce it, so I apologize. The idea of a pattern over a plan is very comforting. Just simply from the standpoint of sewing, which I can do. And I've made things from patterns. So the thing about a pattern is the pattern gives you the general pieces, and how to attach them together. And then what you do from there is how you individualize the item that you are working on. 50 people can buy the same pattern for the same outfit, and it will look 50 different ways because they will choose different kinds of fabric. They will choose different colors of fabric. They will choose different patterns of fabric. And then let's not even talk about the accessories that you can put on the pattern. There are parts of the pattern that you can choose to leave off. There are parts of the pattern that you might, you might choose to use all of the pieces, or you might choose to use the minimum number of pieces that you can. So that's one of the things that makes the idea of a pattern so much different and frankly more comforting than a plan. And there's also, I think it's a Sun Tzu quote, that plans rarely survive the first engagement with the enemy. And that's the thing with plans, is like you make plans, and if everything doesn't go according to plan, then everything can fall apart. Whereas with patterns, if you know what you're doing, you don't have to use all of the pieces. Or you can use all of the pieces, and then you can add all these accessories. And you can constantly change the pattern. Plans, on the other hand, well, they can get a bit rigid. And when he was talking about making a list of what we want, and that is important. It's very important to know who you are, and to know what you want, and to decide if this is something you actually want, or is this something that somebody told you that you wanted. Because there are a whole lot of us, and I'll give you an example with me being a woman. I am told that I want children. No, I never, there was never ever a desire for me to have children, but everything around me tells me that as a woman, that's what I'm supposed to want. Don't get me wrong. I love children. I just wasn't meant to have any of my own. And it helps me to relate to children differently by not having them. But that's like that's that big red glaring flag. Everything around me that says, as a woman, I should want children. Nope. There was never a time. And people kept saying, well, you'll change your mind. No, I'm 50 years old. I've never changed my mind. So, you have to decide, is this what you really want, or is this what you've been told you want? And then there was that other thing about, he says, make a new plan every year. And what it reminded me of is, so I'm a Hallmark fan. If you don't know this, then you haven't been paying attention. And I love the Hallmark movies. And they did this really interesting series of movies last year called The Wedding Veil trilogy. And then they decided to do a second set of the trilogy. Same actors, same actresses, obviously they had new love stories, because it was the same actresses carrying around, the veil, but, it was the Italian one, which is the second of the three, which I loved the first time. I liked all three of them, but the second one where she went to Italy was really my favorite. And in the second one again, and because there's a scene in there where she's talking to the two friends, and she says, one of her friends says, "Is that your 5-year plan?" And she laughed and said, "Yeah." And the friend said, "Have you changed your 5-year plan?" And she kind of laughed and she said, "No." She said, "The 5 years is up, and then I literally recopy the 5-year plan." And then the friend says, "What about her husband?" And she laughed and said, "Well, he added himself to her 5-year plan. She didn't add it. She never." So I think she said like 15 years, she's still working on the same 5-year plan. And she wonders why she's miserable. Okay? She has this wonderful, loving relationship, this wonderful, loving husband. She has a job that arguably she loves, and she does, but she's working for a job and she's unhappy. And that was one of the subplot points, is that the person who was training her for the job that she thought she wanted, that had been on her 5-year plan, was literally trying to show her, because she couldn't just tell her, "Look, I know you, this is not what you want." So she just kept adding to the training to show her this is not what she wanted. She'd never changed her 5-year plan. 15 years, she's still working on the same 5-year plan. Have you changed your 5-year plan? And maybe that's why patterns may be more useful than plans. Because he says in there that we have the freedom to unfold within that plan. We have the freedom to Okay, our awareness that such a pattern exists enables us to harmonize our desires with it, but we must know what our desires are. We need to know what we want in life, what we want to become, where we want to live, and in what manner, and what we want to achieve. This knowledge of our desires is indispensable for giving direction to our life. For when we dwell consciously in what we want, we attract that to ourselves. Okay, where is it? Oh, there it is. I'm sorry, it was in the first paragraph. There does exist a divine pattern for each of us, and within this pattern, for good, we have the freedom to unfold. Okay. I'm not sure ununfoldment is a word until Ernest started using it, but somebody made a good point when they were talking about it. Like, the dictionary is not a rule book. It's a collection. It's a history book. It's a collection of words. So when we know what we want, when we focus on what we want, when we focus on our good, the universe brings us more of that. When we don't know what we want and we're grasping at straws that are blowing by us in the wind, we wonder why our life looks the way it does. So, maybe it would be a good idea, and maybe this should be the mission today, should we choose to accept it, is to sit down and make a list. Or if we have a 5-year plan, pull that thing out, review it, and edit it. But make a list. What is it that we really desire? And I'm going to give you the suggestion. Yes, feel free to put stuff on the list, but put the feelings on the list. What is it? What is it? Because we all want to be safe. We all want to be healthy. We all want to be happy. Put the feelings on the list that you want. And he says where and how. Put all of that on the list. And maybe get up tomorrow and review the list. And then the next day. And give yourself a good week and see if anything changes. And if it doesn't, maybe you do know what you want. And if every day you get up with a different idea, you know where your work is to do. So that's the mission today, should we choose to accept it. To understand that it's a pattern, not a plan, and we get to direct it and we get to unfold it. When you look at an acorn and you can see the oak tree, that's our life. We are the acorn, and our life is the oak tree. And it's going to look different for every one of us because we get to choose our own accessories. We get to choose the pattern. We get to choose the color. We get to choose the fabric. We get to choose the accessories. All right? So please make choices. And that's where that list can come in handy. What is it that you desire? All right. So that's the mission today, should we choose to accept it. And then... and if you're still working on the same 5-year plan 15 years later, please review your 5-year plan. Maybe crumple it up, throw it away, and try just a week plan and see where that takes you. The second mission is to do something loving for yourself, do something kind for yourself, do something compassionate for yourself, whatever that looks like. And honestly, making a list of what your desires are is very loving, kind, and compassionate, because maybe it shows you a direction that you didn't expect. I remember when I was in practitioner training, when I got to write my obituary, I realized that I wanted to garden. I'm not good at it, but I now have 2 ivies, 1 spinach plant, and 3 pots of aloes that are doing pretty well. So, it's all good. It's all good. Okay. Loving, kind, compassionate. It looks like taking a deep breath before you speak. It looks like taking a walk. It looks like taking a nap. It looks like stopping at a random restaurant on your way home that you've never tried before and trying something new. It looks like making a list of your desires and getting to know yourself. It looks like throwing away the 5-year plan. It looks like accepting the pattern and knowing the pattern and realizing that you get to make your own choices. You get to unfold how you choose to. It is absolutely self-care. I make no bones about it. I'm fully, I'm all in on the self-care. It's also about making room for joy. So when I say eat dessert first, I do literally mean eat dessert first. Feel free. But I also mean don't save the good stuff. Your life is a special occasion. Treat it as such. Use the good china. Use the fancy silverware. Use the fancy glasses. Treat your life as the special occasion that it is. Sorry. Foster's being weird. You probably didn't hear that noise, but oh my gosh. He's being super cute. And that is my self-care today, is I'm going to stay home and play with cats. So, I am taking my Catterday. And I take my Catterdays very seriously. Okay, beloveds. Practice on yourself. You are your own best test subject. Practice on yourself because you deserve your own love, your own kindness, your own compassion. Practice on yourself because I am encouraging you to create a habit, a default setting, a first response, so that no matter what happens, you can respond lovingly, kindly, and compassionately, both to yourself and to everyone you meet. Because you are going to meet people who need a little extra. And if you have been practicing on yourself, you have created a bank. You have also created a well-worn path to the source of infinite love, infinite kindness, infinite compassion, the center of your own being. So practice, practice, practice. It is a spiritual practice. Trust me. Okay. I also encourage you to do something to engage your mind and your body, whatever that looks like. The rain kind of got in the way, but I made do. I do encourage you to drink plenty of water, especially in the cooler temperatures, because we can get a little dehydrated because we don't get thirsty when we're, in the heat, but we do. So please drink plenty of water. and you can mix whatever in the water you need to get it down. So, hot chocolate, all that. It still counts as fluid. I do encourage you to get early in your day bright light. The sun was wonderful today to be out in the sun. Sometimes it was a bit much, depending on the angle that it was coming at us. But to get that early in the day bright light, it's a hormone pattern. It's called a circadian rhythm. It's a hormone pattern. And that early in your day bright light kind of helps to reset that pattern. And did I say it's a circadian rhythm? It's science. You can look it up. You'll have more energy during the day. You'll sleep better at night. So please, early in your day bright light. Artificial light can help too. All right. I'm at the social media part where no. The words are for the souls. Open the windows of your soul. Allow the breath of heaven to remind you do live in heaven right here, right now. It's all around us all the time. Because it is a state of mind. It is a state of consciousness. When we recognize that, when we learn that it is a state of mind, and we learn that we can create it for ourselves, because we are the only person who can create heaven for ourselves. Somebody can't create heaven for you. You got to accept the mindset. When you learn that superpower, which we all come born with. In the Western Hemisphere, we tend to call it the Christ consciousness. The password is love. When we learn that, heaven ceases to be a place and can become any place. And most importantly, it can become every place. Practice, practice, practice. All right? Yeah, and then you can always take Emma's advice. Look for the good and praise it. Gratitude will get you there faster than anything else. Okay. Social media. We are Creative Life Spiritual Center, Creative Life Spark. I'm the running Rev Ryan on the social medias that I'm on. Please feel free to look at all of that content, share it, like it, subscribe, do all that stuff. We think we have a pretty neat message and we'd like to get it out there. If you want to know what's going on with the center, please email info@creativelife.org. That can get you on the constant contact. The hot links in the constant contact are hot. If it says click here now, it'll either take you right to the information you want or to the person that can help you get it. So please avail yourself of that. There's always really amazing stuff in the email. And then you'll know what's going on in the center even when I don't. All right. So have a great day, a wondrous day, a fantastic day, a magical day, an enchanted day, a wonder-filled day, an awesome day, a catter day. In my case, cats. I don't think dogger day works, but we can try that. A sunny day, even though it is Saturday. A warming up day, a taking care of yourself day, a getting stuff done day, a resting day, or a taking charge day, whatever kind of day it is that you want to have. A getting to know your desires day, a recognizing the pattern day, a good day. And if that is too much pressure, simply have a day, because you are enough just as you are. You are a beloved child of God. You are a divine light. You are a brilliant spark. I got my 2 words right. Divine spark, brilliant light. You are spirit in motion. You are God in action. You are godly, in whom God is well pleased and well represented always. It's a state of grace, and it's really cool, because the best thing about state of grace is it doesn't have to be earned. Can't be earned. It is granted, and it can't be taken away, no matter what the material world tells you. All right? It is grace of the spiritual. Okay. Reverend David should be at around 5 p.m. with you here on Facebook Live. I'll be back with you around 9 a.m. And since today is Saturday, that means we will have an amazing Sunday for you. So please check that out. Forget what the new one is. I guess I need to go do that so I can do that Instagram post. All right, beloveds, take care of yourself. Know that you are loved. Absolutely. And I will see you next time.